Commercial property investment in Britain offers distinct advantages compared to residential strategies, with potentially higher yields and longer lease terms being particularly attractive to serious investors. The UK commercial property landscape encompasses various sectors, including office spaces in business districts like Canary Wharf, retail units on high streets across market towns, industrial warehouses near major motorway networks, and mixed-use developments becoming increasingly common in urban regeneration zones. These sectors provide diverse opportunities depending on the investor's risk appetite and desired return, and can be more resilient to market fluctuations compared to residential properties. British commercial leases typically operate under full repairing and insuring FRI terms, placing maintenance responsibilities primarily with the tenant, a significant advantage compared to residential lettings. This means that as a landlord, you are not responsible for the upkeep of the property, making commercial properties a more passive investment compared to residential properties. Additionally, because tenants usually commit to longer lease terms, often 5 to 10 years or more, commercial properties provide more stability and predictability in terms of income. The commercial property market in the UK follows unique valuation methods, with yields calculated differently than residential counterparts. Commercial yields are often expressed as a percentage representing annual rental income divided by the property value. This approach is essential for investors as it helps them assess the potential return on investment (ROI) and compare different opportunities. While commercial properties typically require a larger capital outlay than residential investments, they often deliver stronger returns. For example, properties in regional cities like Leeds, Manchester and Glasgow may offer superior yields compared to London, where the market is more saturated and competitive. Investors in commercial real estate must also navigate specific planning regulations, with recent changes to the Use Classes Order in England providing more flexibility for property repurposing without formal planning permission in certain cases. This flexibility allows investors to consider alternative uses for their properties, which could increase their value. For instance, another key consideration in commercial property investment is understanding business rates, the UK equivalent of commercial property tax. Business rates are an important cost factor that tenants must consider when leasing commercial spaces, but investors must also factor them into their calculations to assess potential profitability. Understanding how business rates work is critical when assessing whether an investment will generate the desired returns. Along with business rates, investors also need to understand service charge structures, which cover the costs of maintaining and managing common areas in multi-tenant buildings and can vary significantly across properties. Commercial mortgages, which are typically required to finance these investments, also come with their own set of challenges. They generally require higher deposits than residential loans, often between 25% to 40%. So investors need a larger upfront capital commitment. However, these loans tend to have higher interest rates and are often more complex, so it is essential for investors to thoroughly understand the mortgage terms and how they impact the overall profitability of the investment. Successful British commercial investors develop relationships with commercial agents who have specialised knowledge of the market. These agents can provide valuable insights into current trends, market conditions, and potential investment opportunities. Additionally, investors need to understand the impact of economic cycles on different sectors of the commercial property market. For instance, during an economic downturn, office spaces may see decreased demand as businesses downsize, whereas logistics properties and industrial warehouses may see an uptick in demand due to the rise of e-commerce. Another crucial aspect of investing in commercial real estate is working with solicitors who are experienced in commercial leasehold law. Commercial lease agreements differ significantly from residential conveyancing, so it is essential to have legal guidance to ensure that lease terms are fair and comply with relevant regulations. A solicitor can also help in structuring leases that protect the investor's interests and ensure that any potential issues, such as rent reviews or tenant defaults, are addressed.